Welcome to Meet the COO, James Greer, our new career-oriented interview format by the Operations Council. My name is Neil Brown, CEO of the Operations Council. And with that, I'm very pleased to introduce our panelist, James Greer, who is VP, Chief Operating Officer of WellPower, a Denver-based behavioral health provider. His operations career includes Vivint Health, Bridges US, and Bethesda Lutheran Communities. James earned an MBA and a Master of Human Resource Management from Keller Graduate School of Management and a Bachelor of Science Technical Management from DeVry University, Westminster. He is a member of the Denver Children's Museum Board of Directors and Secretary Board of Directors for the Academy of Urban Learning. James, welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Neil, thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to have this conversation with you today.
Excellent. So before we get into our questions, could you share a little bit about your current company and your role?
So I currently work for WellPower, which is one of the largest behavioral health organizations in the state of Colorado. We are an innovative organization when it comes to providing behavioral health services and comprehensive services within our space. We provide therapy services, rehabilitation services, ranging from child and family to adult, as well as virtual services. We are in the residential space as well. And like I said, we are one of the innovative behavioral health organizations in the state of Colorado, as well as nationally known. And we provide additional services in relationship to what I just mentioned. And you can go onto our website at wellpower.org to find out the array of services that are offered by our organization.
Excelente. Well, let's get to our questions then. James, our Meet the COO interview format is intended to get to a number of career-related questions, a so-called lightning round of Q&A. And my first question is, what inspired you to pursue a career in operations?
So earlier in my career, I took on some leadership roles and some management roles within the organizations that I was working for. And I found that I really enjoyed and liked the difference in how my day went. So there was never a day that was exactly the same. And as I started to advance within my career, I started working in areas such as quality assurance, quality improvement, human resource management, education and training, risk management, and of course, operations. And I found that all of these aspects and each of these areas were just a combination of what the skills you needed as an operational leader. And at the time, I didn't realize it, but even my educational background was preparing me to move into the operations space. So I just ended up falling in love with it.
Neat. Let's get to our next question now. Tell us about some of the most significant keys to your success.
I would say the significant key to my success are people. And what I mean by that are the people that I have in my personal life that help support my goals, and then also the people that I had in my professional life that help support my goals. And just listening and learning from my colleagues and not being afraid to ask questions. So I have a really strong collaborative network across different industries. And so I'm able to tap into the strengths of that network, tap into the strengths of the teams that I've actually led as well, and kind of work through solving problems with them. Another key to my success is being, I think, an operational generalist, not trying to be an expert in all the disciplines, but having an understanding of the right questions to ask in order to solve the problems. Information systems being one, for example. I'm not an IT person. I'm not an expert in that area, but I have an understanding of how that works to help support the organization through the operations of the organization.
Neat. Well, let's get on to a burning question that I'm very interested in. What are the roles and responsibilities of typical CEOs, and have those changed over time?
I think there are some similarities, as far as the roles and responsibilities across different industries, but I also think those roles and responsibilities change based on the evolutionary life cycle of the organization. So, for example, if you are a startup, as a COO, you may have your fingers in everything. You may be leading departments in functional areas that you may not lead in a larger organization. Is the organization redefining and reinventing itself? And that will determine the roles and responsibilities of a COO. Is the organization on a rapid growth trajectory? That will also define the roles and responsibilities. And then is the organization on a steady growth pace? That is another consideration as well. But I think the COO role consists of multiple focuses: the execution and implementation of a strategic growth plan, scaling the organization, creating a strong operational framework to support scaling the business, coordinating the resources in an effective manner to accomplish the work and meet the organizational strategic goals. And then the CEO should have their hands in every part of the organization to ensure that it is operating smoothly. I typically like to operate in two lanes. The first is a strategic lane, making sure I keep my eye on the larger picture. And then the second is a tactical lane, directing my team to accomplish those tasks that will get us through our overall strategic goal.
Excellent. Do you think the roles are different in different industries as well?
I do. I believe I work, of course, I work in the healthcare space. And so what I'm focused on right now is how do we serve more people? How do we provide more services? There is a need there. And maybe another space, as a chief operating officer, you're focused more around the logistical piece of things because you're providing products or supplies. So I believe it depends on what type of service you're providing and who your customer is, would be depending on some of the responsibilities of the role of chief operating officer. But like I stated earlier, I would say the most similar thing across all industries is framework, scaling the organization, and meeting the organizational strategic plan.
Well spoken. Share some of the most interesting aspects about your job, please.
I would say the most interesting aspect about my job is having the ability to solve problems every single day. Being in operations is like a puzzle, and you're pulling the puzzle pieces together within an organization, because organizations are constantly changing and shifting, trying to keep up with what's in the market or the industry. And then there are always new problems that kind of come your way. And so that provides me the opportunity to dive into solving that puzzle, solving that problem, and then working with different departments to learn how to solve that problem. So like I said, not one day is ever the same for me. And so that's probably the most interesting aspect, is being able to solve problems.
Neat. All right, let's get to the question that our audience is all interested in. What advice would you give others that seek an operations or COO career?
There are a few things that I would say. As you're moving up and advancing in your career, and you want to get to that C-suite level, and especially the chief operating officer level, lean into helping the organization solve problems at every level. Take on those projects or tasks that will help elevate the organization, that will solve a problem for the organization, solve a problem for your customers, expand access to your product or your service for your customer, and again, just leaning into that and making sure that you're tapping into that so that you can learn as much as possible. The other piece of advice, I would stay on top of driving changes within your industry and things that will impact your industry, not just external changes, but also internal changes. We went through this during COVID and the beginnings of COVID, we started going through this shift of a remote work and having to learn how to work differently. That was remote work solved the problem, so we can continue to do business, as usual, or change the way that we do business. So keeping up with what changes might impact your organization. The other piece is give people credit for the work that they do. Value the people that you work for, value the people that work for you, value the people that you collaborate with, and show respect. That is huge. Making sure that people are recognized for their contributions to the organization. And again, just to reiterate, show people respect, show compassion, and they will naturally work hard for you and work with you.
Neat. And certainly that talent piece in the last few years has been extremely challenging and probably taking more of your time than it ever had before, correct?
Correct. Finding the right talent, recruiting the right talent, and cultivating the right talent to accomplish your goals, that takes up a big piece of the work that I do. When I think about overarching how I break down my day as an executive, I spend 35% of my time on people. I probably spend, another 25% of my time on operational systems and efficiencies. And then, I spend 15% of my time on the financial state of the organization. And then the other percentage of that, I spend helping to solve problems throughout the organization.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, James. This has been excellent insight. Great success to you in 2023. And thanks to all of our attendees today.
All right, Neil, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate you having me on and being able to share with you. And you have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.